Hi friends, and welcome to my crafty space where I share my memory keeping projects and processes with all of you. If this is your first time here, then hello and welcome. My name is Krystal and I am super excited that you are here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below so you can see all of my future crafty videos, and any of the products or links that I mention in this video I will put in that description box down below. So today we are diving back into storykitcrush, the storykitcrush series using the Ellie Edwards Story Kit watch. Last week I made my first project using this kit and I made a mini album using the TV pad. This week I am doing a 2-for-1. I have two somewhat easier projects that I'm going to work on today in this one video. So one of the stories was prompted by the My Story journaling card that says, "Watch me walk away from things I no longer need in my life." And the other story was prompted by the photography is an art of observation. And more than that, there's a chipboard piece that says something like, "Oh man, I love watching you do your thing." And this made me think about my grandpa. So I'm going to be documenting a story about my grandpa. If you are new to storykitcrush, the whole premise of this challenge is to take a kit out of your stash and do your best to use up the entire thing throughout the month. There are a handful of other crafters who are also completing storykitcrush using the same kit this month. Tashi and I and our friend Amanda started this challenge back in February. We did the kit give and now we're on the kit watch. And this month we are also being joined by Sabrina Pohl. Sabrina, tell me if I am pronouncing your last name wrong, but I think it's Pohl. And a few others. So Sabrina will have a video on her channel today, and Tashi will have a video on her channel today. So I will link both of those videos down below. And then there are a few others who are following along over on Instagram. So if you search the hashtag storykitcrush, you should be able to find loads of inspiration for using up this kit. Okay, so that was a long introduction, but that's okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on fast forward, and I will voice over while I get both of these projects completed. Then we'll come back at the end, slow you guys back down, and close us out for the day. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so once I get this space cleared all off, I'm going to go ahead and get to work on my first project. So this is a photo enlargement of my grandpa with a couple of other smaller photos of him. Now, my grandpa is an outdoorsman. He is a hunter and fisherman. And so this story is to highlight that about him. So most of the photos I found like on Facebook or I don't actually have a ton of photos of him. So thank goodness for social media and for having a place where we can go and find these pictures, because I definitely want to have these people who are important in my life in my album. So this story, like I said earlier, was totally sparked by that chipboard piece that says, "Oh man, I love watching you do your thing." And that just made me think of my grandpa and how he is an outdoorsman. And that's what brings him so much joy in his life. So, from there, this is going to be a really, really simple spread. I have the large picture of him that I'm going to add the chipboard piece to, and then I found a couple of other chipboard pieces. The one that I'm putting up there with him ice fishing, that one says "loving," and then I will add another one later that says "this matters" to the photography quote card. So next what I'm going to do is assemble a flip up for that 4x6. I'm just going to trim out a piece that is 6 inches long by 2 inches wide, and then I will score it in the middle and use this as the surface to adhere all the pieces to in order to make this section flip. So once it's scored, I will adhere the bottom half of that little fold to my photo, and then I will sandwich the other two pieces to the top portion. Once I have all of that adhered, the only other thing I will do is add the rest of the embellishments and then put a couple of puffy hearts on the spread just for some added dimension and interest. While I'm doing that, let me go ahead and read you the journaling that I wrote. So I used the card that said, "Observe a story from my life," and I wrote, "I love these photos of my grandpa because this is and will always be how I think of him, totally in his element as a true outdoorsman. He has been such an inspiration to me in his continual pursuit of his passion, and I love seeing and hearing the stories of his many successes in his community. While our crafts may be different, I believe that this is something that connects us. We both have a strong love for our hobbies, and we both go after them wholeheartedly." So it's just like a little tiny story about something that I feel my grandpa and I share, even though, like I said, our crafts are totally different, right? I love scrapbooking. He loves hunting and fishing, but we both have a passion for the things that we love, and we both pursue them with our whole hearts. So there we go. So this is going to be the first one. Oh, I also put the, what is it called? The marketing card as the quote underneath that says, "We do not see things as they are, we see things as we are." And I just really loved the pop of red on that card with all of the greens and blues. I just thought that it looked really nice. Plus, I wanted to pull in more of the red from the photography quote card, and that one says photography is an art of observation. It has little to do with the things you see and everything to do with the way you see them. And then that completes this spread. The only other thing I will say before we move on to the next one is I just want to emphasize that when we are scrapbooking, to try and think of all of the people in your life that are important to you. Like, I am super excited to have a spread in here that is about my grandpa, and I definitely intend to include more stories that are about my extended family, just because I know that they're not always going to be here. So it's important to me to have some of the memories of them documented and in my books. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to this next project. So this is a spread that is going to be a story about me leaving my career within the athletic and aquatics industry. So when I was in college, I got my lifeguard certification, and I spent the next, I want to say 7 or 8 years working within the aquatics industry, whether that was as a lifeguard, as a supervisor, and eventually as a program manager or department head. So this story really came to mind for me when I stumbled upon the card that says "My Story," and the subtitle on it says, "Watch me as I walk away from the things I no longer need in my life." Which that card, can be used to tell really hard stories. And for me, I wanted to come up with something that was hard, but that also had a positive outcome. So that is partially why I decided to use that card for this project. And then also that red pay attention card, it's like a filler card. It was a 4x6, just screamed lifeguard to me. I mean, it's red and white, so it screamed lifeguard. So I decided to cut that card in half and use it as like background paper for photos. So let me go ahead and read you guys my journaling now, and then I can explain some more of this process to you after that. So my journaling says, "When I was going to college, I became a certified lifeguard and worked for my college athletic department as well as for our local beach over the summer. Right out of college, I got my first big-time job working for Lifetime Fitness. I quickly moved up the ladder until I was the aquatics department head, running the largest aquatic center and swim lesson program in the state. I was very successful in the position, doubling our profits 2 years in a row. In my 3rd year, the market was more saturated and I suddenly wasn't so successful. I learned a lot working here, how to manage people, how to work under extreme stress, and how to grow a business. However, I felt it was my time to go when I was placed on a performance improvement plan. The first year, I didn't increase our profit margin more than the previous, and my position was being threatened. I really struggled at the time making the decision to walk away. I spent 3 years building a team and building a business just to have all of it mean nothing. In the end, I decided I needed to do it for myself. I needed relief from the stress, and I needed to remove myself from a situation where I was being told that I wasn't good enough. It was time. Now, looking back, I'm so grateful I got out. I'm so thankful and proud of myself for walking away and finding new dreams to chase. I decided then and there I will never again work for a company that tells me I'm not good enough, who manages through fear, who operates with a consistent revolving door, or who puts extreme profit over the health of their employees. That is an environment and a culture that I've chosen to walk away from and to no longer have in my life. So, let's see. So the pictures on this page, the one in the bottom left corner is a picture of me when I used to work at our local beach here in town as a lifeguard. And then the picture in the top right is me when I was the aquatics department head for Lifetime. And then underneath my journaling flip is a picture of, it has two on it. One is of the facility, or a facility that Lifetime has. It just looks very similar to the one I worked for. And then a picture of the outdoor pool area, just so I can, like, over the years look back and remember what Lifetime was, or if somebody else ever looked at this page, they could see what Lifetime was like. So it was a really good learning experience for me. Like, I definitely learned a lot about myself. I definitely learned a lot about the corporate culture. I'm immensely grateful that I was able to get out of it and to find different things to do. And I know the company is not a bad company. It's actually a very good company. It just wasn't right for me. So that is essentially this story. I'm just going to put everything in the pockets, and then we will go ahead and slow this down and close you guys out. Okay, so that completes these two spreads, which were both fairly easy. I kept them really simple and just made sure to focus on the stories and the photos more than anything else. But it was really nice to have the products that helped me remember these stories and make sure to get them documented. So I am really happy with how everything turned out. Now I just get to go put these in my book. I hope you guys are feeling inspired this month to get your watch kit out and start using some of the products from the kit. If not, if you don't have watch, you know, I always say you can still play along. Just go grab an older kit that's in your stash and try your best to use it up this month. I am super excited with how many different items from the kit I was able to get used, even though these two projects were super simple. If you guys are playing along, let me know in the comments below, and make sure that you put the hashtag storykitcrush on your posts so that Tashi and I can come and see what you are making. Also, don't forget to go see those other video links down below for Tashi and Sabrina's channels to see what they've made with the watch kit this week. Until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye now.